In this video, we're going to show you how we installed and finished the Flarespace extended depth flares in our Sprinter van, allowing us to sleep widthwise. First thing we did was drape off the outside of the van to protect it from being scratched by falling shavings during the cutting process. This entire rear window panel will be cut out, so here Tim is marking off the cross members to ensure he cuts in a straight line. He then draped the inside of the van to catch as many of the metal shavings as possible. He drilled a pilot hole and then began cutting. He started with an air saw but then switched to a jigsaw for the straight sections, as it was equally as accurate but much faster. He did find the air saw to be useful in those tight corners, however. As he approached the end of the cut, the panel began to vibrate quite a bit, so he did use tape to stabilize it from the outside. And it's free! Just doing a bit of cleanup with a vacuum. And now on to prepping the surface. This mini band file to smooth out the exposed metal edge is super handy. You can certainly just use a regular metal file as well. Then he went in with a small magnet to collect any metal shavings that he wasn't able to properly suck up with the vacuum, especially between the panels there in the window. Next up, he used Rust-Oleum paint and using a dabber sponge worked it along the raw edges along the entire perimeter of the window cutout. With the hole treated, Tim prepped the van surface for the flare. Blue tape was used to mark the frontmost edge of the flare, which will be important for positioning later, and then using a Scotch pad, he lightly scuffed the van to ensure good adhesion between the flare's glue and the van. Then he used mineral spirits to clean the surface. Now onto the flare. First, he cleaned the rim of the flare thoroughly with alcohol, and then applied the urethane adhesive in a continuous bead along the rim. Ensure that a V-shaped notch is cut on the tube so that there's a nice peak of adhesive. Keep in mind this stuff is super thick, so using an electric caulking gun is pretty handy, if not essential. Also, ensure the bead isn't too far to the outside of the frame or else it will be squished out and visible. We carefully lined up the flare to our mark on the van and then firmly pressed it on. The tape strips were applied to keep everything in place while the glue was drying. Tim did also apply additional urethane adhesive along the inside of the flare, but this is not an essential step. Once the adhesive was dry, we installed the Flarespace awning-style bunk windows. We opted for an awning style because we love to crack the window open even when it's raining. The window is slotted in from the outside and the flange is secured from the inside using screws. This will compress the gasket, creating a waterproof seal. Ensure that the screws are only hand-tightened. Do not use a drill. With the flare installed, it was time to make it look pretty. I created a cardboard template for the backing of the flare, including the window cutout, and Tim traced it onto 1/4-inch Baltic birch, which would serve as our interior wall panel. It took some revisions to achieve a good fit, but eventually we were happy with the result. Because the trim ring is not designed to be used with a wood backing, we also had to modify the ring slightly. Then Tim glued some mini-cell foam to serve as a support and slight insulation behind the 1/4-inch Baltic birch. In fact, the perimeter of the window actually required 2 layers of mini-cell foam. We wanted the window flange to sit even with the wood without flexing under pressure, so this was an essential step for us. The adhesive we use here is called Lion Grip.
So I recessed into the fern strips just slightly so that the 1/4-inch wall panel can come past it. Same on this fern strip, and same on this one.
This is what our flare with backing and trim ring looks like before any finishing. Now we're ready to start covering that 1/4-inch wood in mini-cell foam and fabric. First, make sure both surfaces are clear of dust and debris to ensure good adhesion. Here I'm just marking the outside of the wood backing onto the foam so I know where to spray the glue. I'm going to be using Lion Grip high temperature, high strength performance adhesive, which we find holds up really well in the van. This should be done in a really well ventilated area. Ensure that you're spraying liberally across all portions of the wood, and then doing the same on the foam where the wood is going to be making contact. I waited for a couple minutes until that glue is not sticky to the touch, and then slowly and carefully placed the glued side of the wood down onto the foam. Next, I trimmed off the excess foam around the perimeter and in the window hole. For the flare backing and trim rings, I chose Gemini Tweed upholstery fabric in the color silver. This is a very high quality material. It is thick, durable, and easy to clean. Once the fabric was a more manageable size, I sprayed the foam side of our backing piece with Lion Grip, and then I'm marking out on my fabric approximately where that backing piece will line up so I know where to apply the adhesive here as well. Similarly, I'm slowly and carefully placing the backing piece onto the fabric to ensure a smooth application. I found it helpful to try to glide the fabric as I was pushing down the wood to avoid wrinkles. In order to make it manageable to wrap around the edges, I'm trimming it to approximately 2 inches around the entire perimeter. I'm also making relief cuts around the outside corners perpendicular to the piece of wood, making sure to leave at least 1/2 inch from the wood to ensure it doesn't show when I fold it over. Then I sprayed Lion Grip adhesive around the backing and fabric, waited for it to dry for a few minutes before folding the fabric over. Here's a close-up. I'm just cutting the excess fabric so that it doesn't overlap too much in the corners. For the window, I cut a rectangle out with approximately 2 inches of extra fabric on each edge. Now we're dealing with inside corners, which are a little bit different from the outside corners. Again, here I'm making perpendicular relief cuts at least half an inch away from the edge of the wood to ensure that no wood is exposed when I wrap over the edges of the fabric. There is a lot more tension on these strips than the outside corners, so make sure that you have enough adhesive. I found the video by Serg Supply to be incredibly helpful when doing this step, and I'll link it below. Although the adhesive felt really solid, I used 3/8 inch staples on the back for added hold. With the backing complete, it was time to seat in the van. We were pretty excited about the snug fit in the flare itself and around the window. After confirming the fit with the trim rings, Tim moved on to making the holes for the 12-volt outlets and switches to be mounted here. Once the holes were done, I prepped to cover the trim rings, this time only with the Gemini tweed and not using the mini cell foam. I ensured the fabric strips were wide enough to wrap over the front and back of the frame, but keep in mind the driver's side and passenger side flange are different depths. The bottom of the trim ring on each side is going to be covered by cushions, so for ease of application, I decided to cover the frame in 2 sections. Again, using line grip on the fiberglass and the fabric pieces, and waiting for them to dry slightly before pressing together. For the longer strip of fabric, I worked it in sections to make it more manageable. I kept the extra fabric coiled and made sure to keep it as centered as possible so as to not deviate from my path along the frame. Once the fabric was applied to the frame, I created relief cuts around the perimeter of the fabric so that I could fold it onto the trim ring. I cut the previously drilled holes for the outlets, and I made sure to finish the raw edges by slightly burning them using a lighter so that they wouldn't fray. All of our outlets have flanges, so that this area will be covered anyways once installed. Here Tim is installing the scan strut USB charger. We used this countersink bit to ensure the screws along the outer portion of the flange would sit flush against the fiberglass when installed. Our 1/4 inch Baltic birch walls will cover the frame, so we want to ensure a smooth finish. With the backing and the frame all done, we slid them into place, applied the screws around the perimeter, and wrapped up the installation portion of this project. Here's what they look like in the van with our LED strip installed. And now it's time to cover up the furring strips. So we traced the inner perimeter of the trim ring onto our 1/4 inch Baltic birch wall panel, and then Tim cut it out using a jigsaw. Once the fit was good, I sanded and painted the panel and also applied a rubber U-channel along the cutout to ensure a comfortable finish. And this is how they look. We hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to click that subscribe button. It really helps to support our channel. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one.